Your manager just criticized your work in front of the entire team. Again, your stomach drops, your face goes hot, and every instinct is screaming two options at you. Fight back, or go home tonight and quietly start writing your resignation. Do neither. Because a toxic manager isn't only a personal problem, it's a strategic one. And the professionals who come out of it with their careers and their sanity intact don't rely on luck or a thick skin or hope. They rely on a system. In the next few minutes, I'll give you that system. How to protect your income, your reputation, and your mental health while working under someone difficult, without quitting and without becoming the office cautionary tale. Let's be honest about what a toxic manager actually costs you, because it's far more than a bad week. A difficult boss quietly drains three things: your income, your standing, and your health. Your income, because your raises, your performance reviews, and your promotions usually flow through the very person making your days harder. Your standing, because if you react badly, you get labeled difficult, and in most organizations, that label outlives the manager's behavior. And your health, because chronic workplace stress doesn't clock out at 5. It follows you home, into your sleep, into your relationships, into the version of you your family gets in the evening. Most people underestimate all of this. They treat a toxic manager as weather, something to wait out. But waiting is not a plan, and enduring without a strategy is exactly how capable people either burn out or blow up. Both cost you more than the manager ever will. Now here's the part almost no one explains, and it's the part that changes everything. Most toxic behavior isn't actually about you. To handle a difficult manager, you first have to understand what they're really optimizing for. In many companies, managers operate under pressures you never see: aggressive targets from above, an insecure boss of their own, a fear of looking incompetent, or simply no real training in how to lead people. A manager who micromanages is often terrified of being blamed. A manager who steals credit is usually starving for recognition from their own superiors. A manager who explodes is frequently overwhelmed and out of control. None of this excuses the behavior, but it decodes it. And decoding it is leverage. Because the moment you stop experiencing the behavior as a personal attack and start reading it as the predictable output of a system they're trapped in, you stop reacting emotionally and you start responding strategically. And understand this about HR too, because people get it wrong constantly. HR exists to protect the company's risk, not your feelings. That's not cynicism, it's clarity, and it should shape how and when you choose to involve them. The employees who suffer most are the ones who take it all personally. The employees who rise are the ones who learn to read the machine. So here is the framework. I call it the CALM method. 4 moves, in order: contain, analyze, leverage, and manage. Fittingly, it's also the exact state it's designed to keep you in. C is for contain. Before you change anything outside you, you contain the emotional bleed. That means separating your self-worth from their behavior and refusing to hand one difficult person control of your mood for the next 12 hours. This isn't pretending it doesn't sting, it's denying them authority over your internal state, because a calm professional thinks clearly, and a rattled one makes the mistakes that get remembered. A is for analyze. You study the pattern like an outside observer. When does the behavior spike? Under deadline pressure? Only when their boss is watching? You're hunting for the trigger and the fear underneath it. What are they protecting? And what are they afraid of? L is for leverage. You quietly build leverage through documentation and visibility. You keep a private record of key interactions, decisions, and your own contributions, not to start a war, but to protect yourself and to make your value undeniable to the people above your manager. And M is for manage. You manage the relationship deliberately, and if it comes to it, you manage your exit on your own terms, from a position of strength. Notice what the goal never is. The goal is never revenge. The goal is always control.
Let me make this concrete.
Picture a capable analyst working under a manager who routinely dismisses her ideas in meetings, then presents nearly identical ideas as his own a week later. The emotional response is to confront him in the room. The strategic response looks completely different. She contains first. She stops letting his behavior poison her evenings. She analyzes and notices he only does this when his own director is in the room, which tells her he isn't attacking her, he's performing for someone above him. So she leverages. After each meeting, she sends a short, friendly written recap of her proposals, a quiet, time-stamped paper trail. And she manages the relationship by handing him small, low-stakes credit in private, while making sure her documented ideas reach the wider team in writing. Within a couple of quarters, the pattern is visible to everyone who matters, not because she complained, but because the record spoke for itself. This won't play out identically everywhere. Some managers escalate, some organizations quietly protect bad behavior. And in those cases, the smartest move is a deliberate exit. But even then, she leaves with documentation, options, and leverage, not desperation.
So what do you actually do?
Starting tomorrow. First, start a private record today. A simple log. Date. What happened? Who was present? Keep it somewhere personal, never on a company device. Second, move every important verbal instruction into writing. When your manager hands you a vague or shifting directive, calmly confirm it in a message like this. Thanks for the direction on this. To make sure I prioritize correctly, here's what I understood as the goal and the deadline. Let me know if I've got it right. That one habit quietly protects you from moving targets and from, "That's not what I said," 3 weeks later. Third, build visibility above your manager, ethically. Volunteer for cross-team projects. Share your work in group channels. Make sure your contributions are known to more than one person, so your reputation never rests in the hands of a single gatekeeper. And fourth, define your line in advance. Decide now what behavior would make you start looking and what financial runway you'd want before you go. A prepared, unhurried exit will always beat a desperate one.
Here's the deeper truth to leave you with.
A toxic manager feels like a wall. But more often, they're a season, a temporary condition of a system under pressure. Your job is not to win a war against them. Your job is to protect your value, keep your composure, and make sure that when the season changes, you're still standing, still respected, and still holding the controls on your next move. Because the most powerful person in a difficult dynamic is rarely the loudest one in the room. It's the one who stays calm, keeps records, and plays a longer game than everyone else. If you want practical corporate strategy, not empty motivation, subscribe to Corporate Unlocked. I'll see you in the next one.